Hi, everyone, and welcome to Catalyst Conversations. I'm Ivan, Head of Business Development at Catalyst Pay. Today, we are talking about Forex. Specifically, why do some brokers grow so smoothly while others constantly hit a wall? To answer this, I'm joined by two absolute experts in the field, Cas and Emilios from Quantra. For over 10 years, these guys have been deeply involved with the industry, helping Forex merchants solve their biggest structural, regulatory, and operational headaches. Emilios, Cas, welcome to the series. It's great to have you both here.
Happy to join you in this session, Ivan.
Happy to be here, Ivan.
Nice. So let's jump right in. You guys look at the Forex market every single day. What is the real difference between a broker that scales easily and one that gets stuck?
That's a great question, Ivan. I would say the complexity of the answer is embedded in the nature of the CFD space. There is a vast number of moving parts within a brokerage, starting from licensing jurisdictions all the way to which telephone service provider to choose for your call center, or even whether you should have a call center or not, and just focus on affiliate traffic. All of these parts can affect the overall performance, and I haven't even touched upon payments. Simply put, there is no magic pill for growth. Margins are getting tighter, while client acquisition is getting more expensive. The real key to survival is flexibility for sure. The companies that keep their systems up to date are the ones who see consistent growth. If a broker is stuck using the exact same old methods year in and year out, the growth eventually hits a wall. It just boils down to that.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Flexibility is always key to growth. We see this at Catalyst Pay all the time, but how often is the payment structure the actual thing holding them back?
Wow, yeah, it happens constantly. And this is how we come in play, actually. Without a rock solid payment setup, volume just cannot grow. So the first thing we look at once a client is fully equipped with the basics is backups. Whether it is card processing, traditional banking, or crypto, having a structural redundancy is the only way to grow without bottlenecks.
And let's talk about cross-border processing for those FX brokers with offshore licenses. Yeah, for
Mhm.
brokers targeting places like the UK or the EU, where do these setups actually break down?
Well, if your corporate structure is set up right, then daily operations should be easy. But the biggest trap is the regional volume splits. Acquirers have very strict rules and limits for different regions. And if a broker's traffic suddenly shifts and they process too much in one country, acquirers generally get a little bit nervous. And then that kind of triggers compliance issues and accounts get frozen, restricted, whatnot. You have to kind of monitor these splits carefully and closely and daily, if not on a more regular basis. In this case, usually the question from brokers is that what happens if you have a sudden influx of traffic or sudden traffic spike in a specific region or a country? To answer this is fantastic, but let the acquirer know that this is a possibility beforehand, and that there shouldn't be any issues really.
Yeah, we see this often. What looks like growth on the broker side can look like instability from the acquirer's perspective. And speaking about this, where do you see the biggest disconnect between brokers and acquirers today?
Yeah, I'll take this. Ivan, it usually starts right at onboarding. Acquirers have to ask questions before they accept a merchant. It's just part of the process. Naturally, the applicant going through the process may often think that the acquirer is being unjustifiably difficult. The reality is, acquirers are terrified of toxic flow. You know it, I know it, you know. If one of the merchant brings suboptimal traffic mix, it can damage the acquirer's entire network for all the other healthy clients. That's a big problem. Acquirers protect their risk aggressively, but it's at the exact same time quite rightfully, which by the way always turns in favor of the broker, meaning that since everyone has gone through the same scrutiny, let's say, it would make sense that the payment rails are reliable, right?
Strongly agree with that one. Bridging the gap is big part of what we do, right?
Mhm.
Making sure merchants are understood and acquirers stay comfortable.
Absolutely.
Now, brokers love to focus on price and fees, but as they grow, what actually ruins a payment relationship?
Price is important for sure. And obviously, we all need to make money or margins, or brokers, acquirers, likewise. But security and service matter so much more, I think, in my eyes. Relationships generally break down when communication stops or there's no clear communication. If the broker and the acquirer talk openly and on a regular basis, almost any issue can be fixed or solved. When communication goes silent, the risk departments start to make assumptions. And that's exactly when accounts get restricted or frozen in some cases.
Absolutely. Managing the relationship is just as critical as building the setup, and that's where we all focus. Let's talk about a phrase I hear a lot. If a broker doing 3 to 5 million a month tells you our payments are fine, what's your first thought?
Yeah. The immediate response is, that's great. Do you have any alternatives? Thinking that your payments will be fine forever just because they were fine for the last 6 months is a huge mistake and a common assumption. The market changes fast. If you rely on just one provider, you have a single point of failure. It's an illusion of safety in most cases.
Yeah, this is where most gaps hide and where we usually uncover missed opportunities. Last question for you both. For the CEOs and CFOs watching, what is their role in all of this? Should they be managing payments?
Cass, what do you think? Should C-levels manage payments?
No, not really.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Cass. I mean, the C-suite shouldn't be managing daily payment routing. You need a dedicated, specialized team for that. But the C-level mindset needs to treat payments as a topic that is much more than just an IT task or a small finance detail. Approval rates and acquirer backups directly drive your top line revenue. A CEO or a CFO cannot ignore this. If they treat payments like an afterthought, the company will hit a revenue ceiling the second a bank changes its rules. So to answer your question, Ivan, I would say that C-levels should oversee the payment operations, yes, but not be tied to the day-to-day management of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you have to respect the strategic value of payments. I love that. Operational stagnation really is the biggest threat. You have to stay flexible and you need alternative rails ready to go.
Correct.
Emilios, Kas, thank you so much for sharing your time and your experience today.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks for having us, Ivan.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure for me. And for everyone watching, if you want to audit your current setup, add true multi-PSP redundancy, or explore decentralized backups like Bitcoin Lightning, reach out to us at Catalyst Pay and the team at Quantra. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next Catalyst Conversations.